Hi, welcome, welcome. Not sure what's going on here. Right, hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right, so what we can do for the Dark Mirror Oracle for reflection. Let's have a look. First card we're going to do is the collective reading. So this is the collective reading. Hi, welcome, welcome. So the first card we're looking at here is Perchance to Dream, number 28. So card number 28. Perchance to dream. If I sleep long enough, when I wake up, the pain will have been gone. A crowned naked man is reclining, his eyes closed and his body dissolving in the wind. Another man holds him gently. Behind them, a circle of brass risen by thin silvery threads. The sentence is to die to sleep, perchance to dream. Or going dark. It's time to surrender, to drown, to dive in head first in the cozy, all-enveloping darkness of the blanket. It is a moment of weakness, a desire to close your eyes and surrender for just one moment. 1 second, 1 minute. Not like a hero fighting the world, but like a kid, just welcoming the darkness outside within fully. How long will that moment last? A minute, we can say just a minute, but it's not true. Disappearing is but an instant, just the time to take a breath twice. And yet it can take ages we will regret, ages that we will have lost, like stolen by our surrendering, and yet we close our eyes. We let one sense after the other slow down to nothing. Sight first, then hearing and smell. Last will be the touch, the comforting hand we all deserve, to hold us up when we have done enough. And we cannot but let it go. Well, that's an interesting card. So I'm not sure what's going on here. So, mirror for reflection. Right. Let's do Healers of the Oracle. Take a moment, take a breath. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. Right. I'm going to be on for a here. Welcome. Okay. Radio toxic. Maybe you're finding yourself in a toxic environment at this time. Maybe you're feeling like everything is not good for you. Maybe you find yourself doing things. Hi, I'm Joes. I'm Jess. Sorry, I'm Jess. Toxic environment, emotional vampires. Right, so you want a dark mirror reflective reading. Oh, ouch. Hurt myself. Okay, so you want a dark mirror reflective. Let's have a look. I'm Jess. Right, let's have a look. Oh, I did put new subs being a okay, so if you've got a question as well, I'll do that. But firstly, we'll start with this card here for you. So this is called Parasite. Now this is card number 19. So just take a moment to take a breath and just listen to what this has to say for you. So this is when the only answer to lack of self-sufficiency is to cling to another one. A long-haired man with a pale-faced, heavy eyelids, a dull golden chain drapes over his forehead, around his body and through his body. A poisonous ivy grows and clings subtly to him. The sentence is, what can't survive alone will seek company, but instead of growing together, they will wither together, going dark. Relationships are not a zero-sum game. Of course, using each other is part of the game, but it's quite different when use takes the shape of supporting rather than manipulating or exploiting. In the long run, a good relationship is a win-win. Whereas the more I give, the more I get, and the other way around. Still, it's not always like this, is it? Isn't it? Not just in bad relationships. In the short run, bad is bound to happen even in the house of true love. We cling, we bite, we hunger for safety and freedom and support. And on the other side, we get mangled, bitten, demanded on. Well, it happens. It happened and it will happen again. It is part of the game. But if it happens too often, it creates a toxic environment. Doesn't matter if we are the victim or the perpetrator. As poison is shared equally with pain, another one gets the advantage, but the toxic part they both get fully. A parasite, a leech, kills itself as much as it kills the host. It sacrifices the journey to the destination, and then the destination to its own failures. The problem is not living as sheep, but the true problem is living as a sheep for 100 years. So that's that there. So Jess, I didn't get anything more from you. So that was interesting because I just had pulled out this card here when you came in, Jess, about radio toxic, about toxic environment and emotional vampires. So that's an interesting combination of cards there. So Kevin. So, Kevin, let's have a look. Triumph of Lies is your card, which is card number 1. Oh, that's interesting. So, card number 1. If something hurts me, I change myself so it can stop. Headless mannequins crowd against each other under a cold neon light. They are dressed in luxury clothes and pricey accessories. Among them, one has a crown skull floating where a face was supposed to be. Not all that glitters is gold. Emptiness is felt when there is nothing under the dress. Going dark. The triumph of lies is about appearance, and appearance is always so important in the world. Day by day, it seems more important. Can that be a lie too? We seek to be what the world outside desires and not necessarily society at large. Our family or partners or friends place judgments on what we should be. In the dress we choose, we carve a mask of expectations, behaviors, and values to live by. It offers stability to ourselves and to our relations, as being honest and true to ourselves can be too tiring, too easy to make us hurt. Unfortunately, the relationship with our mask is not as straightforward as it feels. Inside the mask, envy grows, vanity takes root, lack of self-confidence becomes a habit. It gnaws at us and hurts us from the inside. It feels like it is ourselves, but it's not really authentic. It's just a lie we have made habit to believe in. When our lies become a gilded cage and our dress becomes a burden, we should remember that we were born naked. So just take a moment. If something hurts me, I change myself so it can stop. Right. Nay, hello. Welcome. You're welcome, Kevin. You're welcome. Right. You're welcome, Angies. Welcome. Princess. Card. Yep. Right. Forgetting oneself. Okay, so this is card number 17. Okay, time as an internal present, not fleeting but locked. No progress is no regress either. So your visual seed is a naked young man whose curly brown hair are intertwined by a golden laurel crown. Half of a golden mask protects his eyes, while the sky around him breaks, ripped to take the shape of a mistletoe branch. The sentence is, eating the lotus flower, numbing our identity to go by the sound of a music that was never ours. A going dark. A modern Adonis, an ancient Hermes, a grown-up Cupid shrined by laurel myth and lotus. He is the welcoming allure of the present moment, the warm embrace which numbs everything, like Bacchus' kiss. If you let go of the pressure and of the pain, if you let go enough of your identity and of the context you live in, then you will just feel better. It is what happens when you fall asleep, when you take refuge in the arms of a loved one, or when you watch a movie slumped ungraciously on a comfy couch. Sometimes, however, it asks for more. It takes more out of you, more of yourself to be forgotten, to feel just a little better. And maybe the twisted idea that if you forget everything, then you will actually really feel better. Forgetting everything, letting everything go, not just as a moment of rest, but as a jump in the dark. It is like vertigo. You stand on the edge of the precipice, and a little part of you wants to jump, but it's just a moment of rest, a moment of pause, a moment of uncreative selfishness. So what? Let it be and sleep soundly. So just take a moment out for yourself. Remember who you are. So that's your card there. Okay. Right. Let's take a moment. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, or 3. Pick a pile. Take a minute. Take a breath. Don't have to tell me. Just think. Just say that you're ready. 1, 2, or 3. Okay. Pile number 1 is increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. So it really is about putting in the effort, so that you don't back down from your position. You show that your strength and fortitude. So it's going to take a lot of strength and a lot of fortitude to really increase your efforts to make sure that you achieve the goal that you desire. That's pile number 1. Pile number 2 talks about maybe you're getting together with friends, and there is somebody within that group that may compliment you in some way. So it might be that you're getting together with your friends, and somebody within that group will compliment you because they admire you in some way. Okay, number 3 is maybe there is a friend who's in the distance is thinking about you, and it may be in relation to some money matters in some way. So just be aware. Could be a friend from the distance who could be asking you, or someone that you've been speaking to that may ask you about some money. So just be aware of that, because it may not be what you expect. So just be careful about a distant friend or someone that you know, someone that you've been talking to, that you don't really spend time with. They may ask you for some money in some way. So just be careful of that. Be aware. So that's 3 picker cards at this time. That's it there. So yeah. That's it there. So yeah, not quite sure who's around. Who wants a reading? Not no. It's not one card for yes and no. What mirror oracle card? So it's not really it's not a yes or no question. It's just a dark mirror card for reflection. So your card is Peaceful Among Thorns, card number 26. So card number 26. Peaceful Among Thorns. So your card is the spiritual can't solve the material, but it can transcend it. So a futuristic monk, his skin crossed by small circuitry, meditates in the lotus position. An 8-pointed star inscribed within the circle at his back, like thorns piercing the air. A golden lotus aura envelops his body. Coexistence of the material and the spiritual is the human way to enlightenment. Going dark. We talk too much about spiritual stuff, spiritual this. Not that the spiritual side isn't important, especially in an age when everything seems reduced to a materialistic drive. But aren't we going too much to the other side? I have a money problem, go spiritual. I have a health problem, go spiritual. I have a love problem. Think of true love and go spiritual. I want to have sex, go spiritual. If we were truly able to solve problems like this, what is spiritual would have been sold in grocery stores. Sometimes to solve money problems, you need money, and to solve love problems, you need to fuck. Oh, excuse the language. Didn't know that was going to say that. Strange but true. Getting spiritual is not what solves our problems. It is what gives depth to our solutions. It makes them meaningful. It takes us from the small to the wide, from the river to the ocean. But sometimes we're not ready to make it our center, and therefore it's perfectly fine if we do not. Coexistence of the material and the spiritual is the human way to enlightenment. That's your card for today. I'm just going to go on for another couple of minutes. Just have a look. Oh, hi Mary. It's not a yes or no card. It's a dark mirror oracle card for reflection. Doesn't say anything about yes or no. So Mary, it's a dark mirror card, oracle card for reflection. It's not a yes or no question. Unless you wanted to check out Ko-Fi, which gives you the donations. But anyway, it's not a yes or no card. It's just a dark mirror card for reflection. Black Flower Fragrance, number 16 is your card today. Card number 16. The world is unfair. A beautiful woman, her face with a hint of resolve, holds a strange black rose on her chest. It seems to explode like crystal, each petal an obsidian shard. If we want to go dark, go black. Don't stop to the evening, but embrace the night. Going dark. Love is not a white dove, nor it turns people into angels. Love can be ugly. Love can be cheap. Love can be rotten, but even ugly love has the right to exist. Even cheap love can raise to the sky. Even rotten love has the dignity of eternity. Even a black rose by any other name should still smell as sweet. Even if you are wrong, you still have the right to be angry. Even if you're not perfect, you have the right to be respected. Even if you're stupid, you have the right to be listened to. Even if you are lucky, you have the right to complain. Even if you're rich, you have the right to be sad. If you cannot shine because you're beautiful, then shine even if you're ugly. Shine because you are ugly. Gorgeously black, ugly as love, worn out as an angel, cheap as a crown, unconquered as a fragrance in the night. So if we want to go dark, go black. Don't stop to the evening, but embrace the night. The world is unfair. So you can tell the world to get stuffed. You can tell the world to get stuffed. It's all about you. It's all about acknowledging the anger that you feel. It's okay to feel angry. It's acknowledging that. It's allowing you to just be in the moment and acknowledge that emotion that you're feeling right now. Oh, you're welcome, Mary. It's all about being able to be you. Acknowledging the anger that you might feel at this time. Maybe you need some alone time, some time for yourself to heal. So that's it for that one. All right. I'm just going to throw in on the collective side of things. I'm going to use Shamanic Medicine cards for a collective reading, collective message. So a collective message for everybody. That didn't work. Why did that not work? Okay, collective reading. It's all about the abundance that one creates in one's life. Seeing the light out of the darkness, being able to bring things into fruition, knowing that's the start of a new day. It's all about the accessibility, being able to take what you have experienced and bringing it into the forefront, bringing it into action. Being able to access your intuition, access your creativity in some way to create that abundance that you need. By looking at the truth of the situation, looking at the facts is really important here. So that's the collective message. Okay. Oh, pardon me. Okay, so that's just about me done. Unless there's any more messages coming through. Some things to do today. Just wanted to get oh, hi. Hi, Missy. How are you? Is that Missy? Missy Morales? Morales? Oh. Oh, thank you for the donation. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you. It's muchly appreciated. How did I not have the profile? Oh, shoot this. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let me just go into so thank you. Cool. So you've got a question that you want to ask? So yeah, thank you very much. It's awesome. So let's have a look at, sorry, just getting this here. Right, so depending on what question you've got. So what question do you have, Missy? So what are we going to use today? What question did you want to ask? Yep, you get to ask a question because you donated. You donated, so you get to ask a question, and I use a little bit more. So yeah, you get to ask a question, Missy. And you get a little bit more than just the dark. You'll get that as well. That's your bonus, but you will get a reading as well. So you get to ask a question, and so whatever you want to do. So this is what you get. Let's have a look. So you can decide. I should really put it in the underneath, but yeah, you get to decide, Missy, what you want. Okay, message from, okay. Okay, for you, then let's do the new tarot. And I'm actually going to give you a mythic oracle as well. So for you, donating. Right, so any message from Spirit. So this is what you're going to get, Missy, because you donated. Here. So any message. Okay, let's connect with Hecate. Connect with us today for this reading, for this guide. What is the Spirit guide? Okay. What message or guidance? Okay, so this is going to be your tarot reading, and this is your oracle. Okay. And then we're going to do a dark mirror, well, because that's what you get anyway. So we'll do that as well. Okay, so your tarot reading. So what message for you today? Okay, you've got 9 of Wands, so it's really about keep going. Okay, don't give up. It's all about that, being able to feel, even when things feel difficult, that you can achieve what you want. Okay, that's really important for you. It's all about nurture. I get the sense about nurturing your dreams, nurturing your emotions as well, which is super important to actually take care of yourself. It feels like you're giving birth to something new in some way. It does feel like there's a birth of something new coming into play. I know it is the Queen of Cups, but I do get that sense of really sort of taking care of your own emotional needs as you start coming into play here, because it's really about not giving up, about being able to sort of keep going even when things seem really, really difficult. So it really is important to understand with Cronus that everything comes in cycles. It's like you're moving into a new cycle. Things are sort of developing within yourself, which is really important here. So I do feel like things are sort of starting to move into something more for you, because you're able to sort of take care of your own emotional needs as you move, as you keep going, as you don't give up. So that's really important for you to reflect on at the moment, is about not giving up, being able to look at what your goals and what your dreams are, and being able to sort of nurture that goal, that result that you actually want, knowing that you're moving into new cycles. It feels like you're leaving something behind and moving into something new. So your dark mirror, it's also about I get the sense of, when we got 11 here, which is about addicted, does feel very much about your addictions or your repeated patterns, your bad habits, things that you sort of repeat. It's about looking deep within yourself. So I think that's really important. So let's have a look here. So this is card number 11. So this is a little bit of looking into the darkness, going dark within oneself. So let's have a look here. It says, it's not about choosing the chains. It's about choosing them again and again. So white sparkly hair over a scarred, melted, downcast face. Is this a visual seed? Is the hand melting or already long gone? A chain chokes his neck and many spikes pierce the back. The sentence is, freedom was the worst of lies. I could have been a slaver or a slave, but I choose the latter. Going dark, addiction to something, to drugs, to love, to company, to evil, to pain, to safety, to making simple everything that can be deep. Oh, they have in common the feeling of being lost, if ever are without it. Freedom is not a friend, as it promises responsibility, failure, challenges. Freedom can be taken, can be broken, can be stripped naked and whipped and abused. Slavery is a much cleaner choice. If you give it all away at the beginning, how can they take it from you? So how can it be that it is so easy to believe that freedom is an illusion, and it's so hard to feel that slavery is an illusion as well? That the sky has a limit, but the chains have one as well. The irony of it all, when we lose the desire, much before losing the will to fight, is that actually is possible to reach for the sky even when bound by chains. It's not about choosing the chains. It's about choosing them again. So it's being able to break free from those chains, being able to look at how you can move forward on your journey. How can you keep going even when things seem difficult? So acknowledging the cycles as you move through them, that's really important for you. So this is something that you can really reflect on and really think about in many ways. So let's have a look and see what Cronus has to say now that we've looked at the dark message. Let's have a look at what Cronus has to say. So what number is this one? This is number 5. So let's have a look at the message from Cronus. Okay, the message is, nature is filled with cycles, including the cycles that exist within our own lives. All things change, and when we embrace and flow with these changes, they enrich both our lives and our experience of life. It can be frightening, but new life is only possible once we accept change. When we resist the natural cycles of change, we become tyrannical, clinging to the old order. We feel a sense of deadness followed by bitterness, frustration, fear, and anxiety. When we flow with our changing selves and changing places within the world, we remain connected to life, nature, and ourselves. This is a time for you to review the cycles in your life. Have you become stuck? Are you trying to hold on to things you should let go of? Are you afraid of moving into the next phase of your life? It may be time to stop, feel the fear, and move forward anyway. Although you may need to let go of your old identity and habits, and this can be frightening, you'll find much joy, power, and wisdom when you accept this new cycle. We all fear our mortality, yet it is this fear that leads to are deadening. You will gain a new sense of life when you embrace your cycles with joy. And it is imperative now to mourn the old ways, but let them go. Open your arms to the new life and possibilities that await you and move forward. So that's an interesting combination of cards there for you, giving you something to sort of think about, reflect upon. So yeah, I hope that helps. Hope that guides you and gives you the message that you need at this time. Cool. I'm pleased it's able to help you and guide you. And so that's what I want to, so that's your, so now that you're a supporter of Ko-Fi, you've paid through the shop, there'll be a lot of exclusive content for you, Missy, on, for the next month. You will get a lot of great content on Ko-Fi. So there'll be some previews and some discounts. There'll be some downloads. So just so that you know, you can go through some of the posts on Ko-Fi and get some great, oh, I didn't mean to put that in the way, and get some great discounts and things like that. So do go through and scroll through some of the old posts, Missy, and you'll get some great content. I hope you enjoy on Ko-Fi now that you've supported me on there. There are some ability to get some downloads and all sorts of little bits and pieces. So just go through the old posts. So yeah. Now that you've supported me on Ko-Fi, some great bits and pieces. Just throw in an incense. Oh, I need some more. Second box. So don't forget to check out the link the pinned link. Oh, that's good. Just put an incense stick in there. Yeah, so Missy, enjoy the free content on Ko-Fi now that you've supported me for the next month. So yeah, get you some free downloads and resources and all sorts of little bits and pieces there. A lot of exclusive content. So yeah. So Lords. That's cool. Okay, so where are we at? Lords. Right, did you want a card, did you? A dark mirror card for oracle card for reflection. Don't forget, when you choose to donate through the link at the top, you get to support Ko-Fi, but you also get a lot of free content as well from Ko-Fi, a lot of exclusive deals, previews, discounts. So Restream does that sometimes, can be like that with the video, with the yeah, can't do much, unfortunately. Yeah, Restream can be a bit like that, Lords. Hi, All About Maine. How are you? Okay, so today I'm doing Dark Mirror Oracle card for reflection. If you actually want a tarot and oracle reading of any amount, please use the pinned link above. Don't forget, if you do donate through Ko-Fi, you will get some exclusive content and some previews and some discounts and things like that. So So today I'm just doing Dark Mirror Oracle card for reflections, unless you want to donate for a tarot and oracle reading. Don't forget those that have already supported me on, yep, definitely All About Maine. Definitely. You can have a card for sure. I'm good, thank you. Right, so it's a bit of a cruisy day. I'm just sort of waiting for delivery. Hopefully courier in the next day or two. Well, today, it's Friday, isn't it? So, let's have a look. What have I got? For you, it's about downcast. Okay, so this is card number 20. It's called Downcast Pride. Okay, card number 20 here. Okay, bending to adapt becomes an excuse for the habit of bending. The visual seed. The eyes, dark with dried blood tears, look downwards. The face of a dark-skinned, beautiful elf with gold laurels among her hair is stern and motionless. Roots plunge into her body from a golden collar. The sky behind her is as grey as concrete. The sentence is, the root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the grey sky. So going dark. Oh, I've been good. You're working 2 jobs. Oh, wow. You've been busy. Okay, going dark. Survival is a direct consequence of adaptation. What we call adaptation is not the result of a subtle but constantly constructive change of ourselves, but rather a mockery of it. As we strip day by day of our dignity in order to avoid conflict that would spread us apart, how can we endure this? Maybe through the power of responsibility or through a hidden core of identity. Sometimes we don't use the best of us, but rather we draw from the ugliest. We survive and bend our knees because we draw out from our laziness, fear, and disgust. We let our deepest roots go dry, replaced by what can only be called a surge of lack of self-esteem. We are deluded when we think that we are only sacrificing our pride. We cling to vanity, but we can't afford dignity. Isn't it sad? Honestly, the true delusion is our faith in fall and winter, while we discard spring and summer as fairy tales. The sky can change colour too. As we sometimes look up, we can notice. The message is, so bending to adapt becomes an excuse for the habit of bending. The root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the grey sky. So that's your message all about Maine. Now, you being a supporter, you have supported me on Ko-Fi. So because you've been a supporter, you're also getting you've been a Ko-Fi supporter in the past. So the card is Akashic Records, going into deeper knowing. It's all about our history. It's all about our past experiences. So take a moment to take a breath and really sort of dive into your past experiences. Maybe do a meditation on your Akashic Records. Could be interesting too. So there you are. So I'm not sure if Lords wanted a message or not. I hadn't. So yeah. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. All about Maine. Just cruising for another 10 minutes or so. Oh, so I should do this. Okay, I know it's being a bit funny with connection. Just for those that don't know, Restream is actually is a Ukraine based, so it does sort of so yeah. So I'm not quite sure who else wants a message. Let's have a look. Oh, the power of love. Let's do some just some cards for reflection. So let me start with the power of love. So what card are we going to focus on here? No matter what you see, the bigger picture of a loving, just universe. Vision. Okay. Let's do Oracle of Passion. Let's see what cards we're going to reflect on today. Cards for reflection include healing through beautiful thoughts, spiritual wisdom and knowledge, vitality, healing, connection. What is missing? Ooh. And what does this invoke in you? Ooh. And this one. So this to me is that sense of there's a little bit of fire going on there. Feels like, but there also feels like there's some bubbles. It's an interesting one. Maybe the fire is sort of bubbling within you. And what do you need to reflect on? Soul connection. Oh, that's an interesting. The two cards together there. That same thing you've got here. You've got the sense of spiritual wisdom, knowledge, vitality, healing connection with soul connection as well. And it's interesting that both turned up. And being able to communicate So being able to communicate. So healing through positive thoughts, healing through beautiful thoughts, sorry, healing through beautiful thoughts. And it really is about that connecting, that knowledge, that wisdom, that real, again, you've got that sense of healing coming in. And it's about that soul connection within yourself or within someone else. Maybe there's a connection between two people. So what's actually missing at the moment? It could be the sense of fire, the sense of intensity bubbling within you, and enabling you to sort of reflect on that connection you have with someone else and being able to communicate clearly, which is super important. So interesting here. And then you're sort of looking at the colors here. We're getting a lot about the, I feel like it's a lot about the swirling, the heart and the mind, the truth, the situation coming in together. So it's all about how do you actually feel about the situation? What's your mind telling you? What's your third eye telling you? The truth of the situation. So interesting. There. So that's the Oracle of Passions, which you can find through Make Playing Cards. You can find the link on my channel. So yeah. So you're talking about, what do you see? What's your vision? No matter what you see, the bigger picture of a loving, just universe. Your vision. So I think that's it from me. Ending on with the collective reading there. Don't think there's anything else. So it's just waiting for Lords, but I haven't really don't know quite what's happening here. Okay, so I'm going to finish off with a embroidered graveyard oracle card. So what card are we going to reflect on? As a collective energy. Collective energy, I'm talking about crow's eye view. Crow's eye view. $45. Oh, yep, certainly. Let me just read this one. And I'll do you a reading, Ruby. The Morrigan is not known for subtlety or softness, a Celtic warrior for goddess. She looks you in the eye, commanding your respect. She calls to the wildness in you, your sharpness, your edges, your acid tongue. When society asks you to be kind, quiet, get in line, she tells you to fight, to claw, to scream. And the light side of femininity is birth and creation. What does it make its dark side? Sheer destruction and power. It's within you when you need it. Have the strength to sever what must be severed. Have the sharp mind to see all the ways you've been taken advantage of before, and never let yourself fall into these traps again. Have courage to cultivate boundaries that can stand the test of time. Life will strengthen you over and over. You need only pay attention to its message and defend your experience. Earn truth. You'll be given the same lesson until it's fully learned and realized within you. This card asks you to be a tough cookie for the time being. Ask for guidance. Right, let's do you a reading. Right. Yeah, let's do Ruby Samosa. Now, put that away. Put that away. Okay. Dark mirror card for reflection. Right, Jess, you can have a card read, and you have like. Don't forget to check out the Ko-Fi, read description box. Don't forget to read the description box before you post anything. Okay, Ruby, your card for today is Black Flower Fragrance. Okay, it's number 16. Okay, this is The World is Unfair. So it's time, excuse the language, but it says, F off, dear world, F you. A beautiful woman, her face with a hint of resolve, holds a strange black rose on her chest. Seems to explode like a crystal, each petal like an obsidian shard. The sentence is, if we want to go dark, go black. Don't stop to the evening, but embrace the night. Going dark. Love is not a white dove, nor it turns people into angels. Love can be ugly, love can be cheap, love can be rotten. But even ugly love has a right to exist. Even cheap love can raise to the sky. Even rotten love has the dignity of eternity. Even a black rose by any other name should still smell as sweet. Even if you are wrong, you still have the right to be angry. Even if you're not perfect, you have the right to be respected. Even if you're stupid, you have the right to be listened to. Even if you are lucky, you have the right to complain. Even if you're rich, you have the right to be sad. You cannot shine because you're beautiful. And shine even if you're ugly. Shine because you're ugly. Gorgeously black. Ugly as love, worn out as an angel, cheap as a crown, unconquered as a fragrance in the night. So if you want to go dark, go black. Don't stop to the evening, but embrace the night. Even then, when the world is unfair, it's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to acknowledge that and just go, hey, look, this is me. This is who I am. Acknowledge and embrace who you are as an individual. So that's your message from the universe. Okay, T. This is a message from just the Dark Mirror Oracle cards for reflection. Sorry, I shall put this up now because I was going to end, but I'll just put this in so you can see what we're actually doing. Okay, T, let's have a look. What's message for you? $20, downcast pride. Okay, so number 20. Vowing to adapt becomes an excuse for the habit of bending. The eyes, dark with dried blood tears, look downwards. The face of a dark-skinned, beautiful elf with gold laurels among her hair is stern and motionless. Roots plunge into her body from a golden collar. The sky behind her is grey as concrete. The sentence is, the root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the grey sky. Going dark. Survival is a direct consequence of adaptation. What we call adaptation is not the result of a subtle but constantly constructive change of ourselves, but rather a mockery of it as we strip day by day of our dignity in order to avoid conflict with a world that would spread us apart. How can we endure this? Maybe through the power of responsibility or through a hidden core of identity. Sometimes we don't use the best part of us, but rather we draw from the ugliest. We survive and bend our knees because we draw out from our laziness, fear, and disgust. We let our deepest roots go dry, replaced by what we only be called a surge of lack of self-esteem. We are deluded when we think that we are only sacrificing our pride. We cling to vanity, but we can't afford dignity. Isn't it sad? Honestly, the true delusion is our faith in fall and winter, while we discard spring and summer as fairy tales. The sky can change colour too. As long as we sometimes look up, we can notice. So the sentence is, the root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the grey sky. Bending to adapt becomes an excuse for the habit of bending. So sometimes there's a time for you to say no. T, could be a time for you to say no. Create some boundaries. Okay, Dorothy. Your message is... Masquerade. Okay, so that's card number 15, Masquerade. Okay. What I can't have forever, I will have for a minute. What I can't have for a minute, I will hold to me for 1 second. The visual seed. A man's face, young in the flesh and posture, in a wide open shirt. Over him, what? Oh, it's a guy. Over him appears the most complicated and baroque hat, straight from a Venetian carnival. Under the guise of Cupid, I will come to you. Under the guise of a thief, I will fly away. Going dark. There is often guilt in taking the mask of Don Juan or Donna Juana. The seducer is not a master of love, neither of manipulation. He is the master of the ephemeral, of what is fleeting and brief and transient to the extreme. He is the master of the moment, and as such he forgets all other kind of eternity. There is guilt if you care because you are not building. There is guilt out of loss because you are not treasuring. There is guilt out of indifference because when you don't care, you cheat yourself of meaning and value. Sometimes there is guilt in selflessness, in the desire itself, and everything leading to pleasure, as if only the pleasure that can be sacred are only those labelled as such. The masquerade is a dance. It is a road that goes in circles and ebbs and flows, and always ends with the first light. Before the time comes, hold it tightly. When the time comes, let it go. Under the guise of Cupid, I will come to you. Under the guise of a thief, I will fly away. What I can't have forever, I will have for a minute. What I can't have for a minute, I will hold to me for 1 second. So that's your message, Dorothy, for today. So the cards that we've had today, let's have a look. Black flower conference. Let's have a look. Downcast pride. Parasite. Forgetting oneself. Triumph of lies. Peaceful among bulls. And addicted. And masquerade. And a couple of those cards have come up a couple of times. So those are the messages we've had today. sure. Too hard. It's interesting, some of the repeated cards are coming in. Forgetting oneself. So maybe you're forgetting. It's just time to acknowledge who you are. Let's have a look. 17. Time as an eternal present, not fleeting but locked. No progress is no regress either. A naked young man whose curly brown hair intertwined by a golden laurel crown. Half of a golden mask protects his eyes while the sky surrounds him breaks, ripped to take the shape of a mistletoe branch. The sentence is, eating the lotus flower, numbing our identity to go by the sound of a music that was never ours. Going dark. A modern Adonis, an ancient Hermes, a grown-up Cupid shrined by laurel, myth, and lotus. He is a welcoming allure of the present moment, the warm embrace which numbs everything else. Like Bacchus's wet kiss, if you let go of the pressure and of the pain, you let go enough of your identity, of the context you live in, when you will just feel better. It is what happens when you fall asleep, when you take refuge in the arms of a loved one, or when you watch a movie slumped ungraciously on a comfy couch. Sometimes, however, it asks for more, it takes more out of you, more of yourself to be forgotten, to feel just a little better. And maybe the twisted idea that if you forget everything, then you will actually really better. Forgetting everything, letting everything go, not just as a moment of rest, but as a jump in the dark. It is like vertigo. You stand on the edge of the precipice, and a little part of you wants to jump, but it is just a moment of rest, a moment of pause, a moment of uncreative selfishness. So what? Let it be and sleep soundly. Eating the lotus flower, numbing our identity to go by the sound of a music that was never ours. Time is an eternal present, not fleeting but locked. No progress is no regress either. So take a moment and take a breath and acknowledge who you are. Okay, so that's it from me. I'm ending soon. So yeah, that's it from me. Get myself some lunch before things happen. So let's have a look. See. Wildwood Tarot. Okay, so Wildwood Tarot. So I've got to do your reading yet. Just wanted to see who the new. Okay. So I know I'm ending soon, but I just want to put this in here. So I'm not seeing. Not quite sure what's going on here. So thank you for the likes. Thank you for the connections. So I'm not quite sure. So I know I've got a new subscriber there. Doesn't show everyone when they're subscribed, but I know it takes a few minutes. So what I'm going to do while I do that is oh, these two cards popped out. What was it? About being resilient, being tough, endurance and perseverance. And a sense of alliances. Know that you're actually supported through your partners and by agreements. So to endure, to just sort of keep going, you know, don't give up. Even when things seem difficult, know that you're actually supported in your journey. Which is really important here. So that's a really cool message for somebody that's coming in. Maybe somebody who's watching it back. Know that they're not alone, that they can endure whatever it is, to persevere. Know that they actually have support with their journey. Okay, for those that don't know, I do have a selection of tarot and oracle cards available on Make Playing Cards. Oh, muscles. So for those that don't know, let me see. Let me show you. Show you some of the decks that I've got. Yeah, that I created. Oh, so there was that. Oh, Oracle of Passions. And Love Oracle. Vesta's Art Oracle. There's a few tarot cards as well. One of the tarot decks I have is Journey to the Crossroads. And Crossroads Oracle. Okay, so it's also Nature Spirits Oracle. That's quite cool. So that's the Nature Spirits Oracle. So these are all available on Make Playing Cards. And there's my Lenormand deck as well. There's a few other decks available. I just wanted to show you a few Now, what makes this deck different is that I do have extra people cards. There's a querent and a partner, as well as a child and children. So I just wanted to show you that some of my decks I have available with make playing cards as well. So we could look at a message from the Love Oracle. Let's put this Oracle of Passions away. Hi, Egyptian Famous. Hi. Right. Just showing some of my creations, of course. Oh. Just showing some of my creations. Oops, shift that to one side. Right. Oh, this is art. Right. So what card are you going to reflect on today? I'm just not sure if Tio is actually. I don't think he is. I'm not seeing it. Okay. Dark Mirror Oracle is this one here. Dark Mirror Oracle is a deck that sort of dives into the shadow self, if you like, into the dark stuff that we might deny within ourselves. It's a spiritual mirror for those who may be finding yourself in a little bit of darkness, might be finding that you're feeling things are not going quite the way you want them to. So that's the message for today. That's what I'm doing. Sort of exploring this as the freebie Oracle deck. Of course, if you want something else or want something in a bit more in depth with a reading, don't forget to check the link, the pinned link. Of course, don't forget to check out the pinned link. Don't forget to check down below. So this is what I've got here. So if you want something a little bit more okay, so if you want a Dark Mirror Oracle, just let me know. Hi, Sunny Girl. So yeah, if you want a dark mirror oracle, let me know. Or if you want to donate for something else, that's cool. So what I'm going to do is, while we wait for that, I'm just going to do a love oracle from the Vestas art from my collection. So what card are we going to reflect on as a collective? Tell me about your day. So it's about reflecting on your day. And it's about healing through self-love, through loving oneself. Healing through opening your heart, radiating your heart unconditionally. And card number 3 is about having, maybe there's a need for commitment within the relationship. So when you're able to sort of open your heart to love and love unconditionally, there is that commitment to your relationship, needing to sort of heal and open your heart to love unconditionally. Being able to sort of trust in your experiences is really important as well. So interesting cards. So that's the love oracle. And then Vestas art oracle deck. Let's see what card are we going to reflect on here. Oh, freedom, giving yourself permission to move ahead in your life. Being able to open up to receive love from others unconditionally. Being able to give yourself permission that it's okay to be open to love. Being open to whatever comes up into your life. Being able to have a sense of harmonization that brings a sense of understanding. Being able to feel that you've got harmony in your life, by being open, by giving yourself permission to do so, by having the freedom to open up, to surrender. Interesting combination of cards. So yeah. Okay. Breathe. So I'm not quite sure what's. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so I can stay on a bit longer then. Okay. No. So I'm just waiting. Okay. I'm not quite sure what's. Oh, sorry. Oh, weather's turned nasty. Not so good. So I'm not sure fairy guides you. So I'm not sure if you actually wanted a reading or not. You just asked what it was about. And Sunny Girl. And I know Egyptian famous. In and out with work. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. So, not quite just waiting for the messages to come through. I know things are a bit slow from YouTube. So yeah, when I think things are a bit slow. Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. Egyptian famous. Okay. For you, Egyptian famous, let's start with, because you're a mod. Yeah, I know you've been working. That's cool. Okay, so I'm doing a dark mirror. Oh, let's start with this. Now you're a mod, so I'm doing this. Oh, today for tomorrow. That's your card. You just reflect on that for a second. Now I want to doing this as well. Healers of the Earth Oracle. They seem to sort of go quite well together. So because you're a mod, always look after you. Anyway. So. Okay, make sure you read the link down below. And check out the pinned check out the description box below, and also check out the Ko-Fi link, the pinned link up above. Okay, for you, Egyptian famous. Now let's have a look. Here we have frozen in time. So maybe you're stuck in something. Maybe you're avoiding some change. Maybe there's something in the past that's holding you here. And today's message for you is today for tomorrow. So let's have a look. Card 32. Card 32. So let's have a look at this one. Okay, your message is hope is in the present. It's the brick we use to build the future on. Visual seed, mother and daughter, or maybe twins, or the same person in different times. Red hair, a black dress, standing at the top of some stairs under the moon in the wind. The sentence is, I want it some, I want it later, gently. Going dark. It may seem like a trade-off to sacrifice the present in order to secure a better future. That's what ants do. Or to sacrifice a future to enjoy a better present. Cicadas do this. Either choice holds a bitter taste. It's like watching a child play. Shouldn't she study? And if she were studying, wouldn't she regret not playing more? You meet a person you're attracted to. Do you go past and let it stay in the fantasy? Or you make a move and follow it through the ephemeral ending. The endless choice between regret and remorse. What if, for once, we turn our back to the dark? We do the unexpected and we shred it like a used dress. We can walk by the sea as no one is around, and we skinny dig out of our worries. The present and the future are one single integrated connection. There is no choice between the road is only one. What we are today and what we are tomorrow may be different, but is the same person. Hope is in the present, is the brick we use to build the future on. I want it some, I want it later, gently, is today's message for you. Okay, so that's interesting. Interesting when you look at things, maybe you're feeling a little stuck, maybe you're avoiding some change or something in the situation. Okay, so right, so what we're doing at the moment is we're doing Dark Mirror. We're doing Dark Mirror Oracle, so let's have a look and see what your card is for today. Oh, interesting. Revenge. Card number 23. So let's have a look and see what your message is about revenge. Okay. It is time to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. A complete magic glyph illuminates the ground as a pale woman dressed in black seems to surge from it. She has blood-crimson eyes, a white flower garland, and 2 plain swords. Her wings are made of withered branches. The sentence is, there is no white night, but there can be a black storm woven by fallen angels. So going dark. What if there was a place where there is no more time for words? No more sense to bargain or negotiate, no more survival instinct to accept fear or ponder consequences. It's a place we can reach at the limit of our abuse with the last spark of our dignity surging up as a powerful black flame. We cry, we hurt, and we strike to destroy. We destroy not for ourselves because we are gone. We destroy for the fairness of the world. We destroy because if there is no sweet justice, there can be least cruel revenge. We destroy for those who come earlier. For those who would come later, we destroy, and as we destroy, we forsake ourselves. There is no going back, because coming back from that requires much more than force. The sentence is, there is no white night, but there can be a black storm woven by fallen angels. It is time to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. It's about dealing with one's anger. Take a moment, take a breath, and reflect. Reflect on this message. There is no white night, but there can be a black storm woven by fallen angels. It is time to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. So that's your message. So yeah. Right. Welcome. Don't forget to check out the link and the pinned link So I'm showing some of my creations from Make Playing Cards, of course. So some of my creations include Sacred Path cards. Sacred Path cards. Sacred Fractal cards. Sacred Fractal Tarot. So a tarot deck. Of course, and it's Sacred Fractal. So it's all about your own intuition. It's all about knowing but also knowing the card meanings as well in some way, like the keywords and things like that. What works for you is really important here. So this is a Sacred Fractal Tarot, which is available through Make Playing Cards. There are other decks available as well, but this is one of them. So yeah, I just want to sort of show you some of the Cups and Swords, Pentacles, Swords, Cups, Swords, Wands, Cups, Wands, Major Arcana. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. That's the Sacred Fractal Tarot. Now that's available through Make Playing Cards. Okay, and there's also Loteria. Loteria cards that I created. Loteria cards are a Mexican bingo, and they use riddles to know the meanings of the cards. It takes a bit of time, a bit of practice. I just wanted something to learn from, something to practice with. That's why I created this deck for fun. So that's the Loteria deck. Now, there are 3 editions of this. This was the first edition, so maybe you want edition 2 or 3, because I did make a mistake in this one. So, El Arapa for the harp. So you might need to look at edition 2 or 3. So I wanted to say that, be honest about that one. Okay, now, there are a couple of other decks that are quite cool you might want to look at, and there is an animal deck available as well. It's the Nature Spirit one, and the Crossroads Oracle. So yeah, few decks to look at on Make Playing Cards. Oops, there's the noise. So yeah, Vesta's Art Oracle deck, Vesta's Love Oracle, Nature Spirits Oracle, Leninland. Got extra cards in it, woman and man cards, but as well as parent and partner, child and children. That's quite good. course, there's a few tarot decks. So yeah, just wanted to sort of share a little bit with you. So yeah, Journey to the Crossroads Tarot. And the Crossroads Oracle. I made them for myself really more than anything, but I just wanted to share you if you want to have a look. Anyway, just out of interest more than anything. So yeah, so that looks like that's it. I know that I have a new subscriber. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. So yeah. So yeah. So I'm not quite sure what's going on or who wants a reading or what. But I just did want to share you I'm just waiting. Midday. Right. That, I think. Okay. So let's have a look.